You guys see the hat? It's the Super Bowl 52 rematch. We've got Eagles versus the Chiefs, and then we also have the Maui Invitational today. A lot of great games, and I've got three best bets for you. This is the free three. What's up, guys? It's your boy Noble Living back with another DYF Bets video where I'm breaking down my favorite picks and plays of the day as we just try to get to the bag together and make some money. In our last video, which was on Friday, we did have a winning day. Last week wasn't our best week on the channel, but listen, we ended off the week strong on Friday. We cashed in on the Sixers and Hawks over there. No sweat bet. We cashed in on our ladder challenge. Devin Booker to hit 2 threes and Tobias Harris to grab those rebounds. And we did lose on Devin Booker's points as he decided to turn into Magic Johnson and have like 18 assists. Finished with like 26 points. So we took like the 27.5. So that's rough. That's rough. It happens, but hey, it happens. And then we did give out a YouTube short on Saturday. I don't know if you guys caught that, but make sure you guys are still subscribed to the channel so this way you get all the different videos. Didn't have time to give you guys a full video on Saturday or Sunday because I was traveling, but I gave you a free pick on Saturday on Jake Plummer's passing yards. No sweat bet there for Louisville, went over. So 2-1 on Friday, 3-1 overall on the weekend. You can see our year-to-date record right here. Absolutely crushing it, absolutely killing it in the month of November. We've got a few more days, so hopefully we can keep this momentum going. And if you can, drop a big like on this video. I greatly appreciate the support. Thank you for all the new followers. And as always, let's get into these best bets and make some money. All right, so for our first best bet of the day, you know where we're going. We're going to this Eagles-Chiefs matchup. Fly, Eagles, fly, baby. We're going to get this win today, but that's not the pick that I'm going to give you. The pick that I'm going to give you in this Super Bowl rematch is Jalen Hurts, Patrick Mahomes, over 518.5 combined passing yards. So you can take this on your book. You can take this on Prize Picks, Underdog. I think every sports book has this pick, the combined passing yards, -110 odds. I really love this pick. Why? Because I think there's going to be a ton of offense today. I don't know if you necessarily get over that 46 total, but I do think that we're going to get a lot of scoring. I mean, we saw that in the Super Bowl game, right? I mean, both of those quarterbacks, Hurts and Mahomes, was balling out. We had a total in like the 70s in that game. It was an amazing matchup, and I think both of these teams are going to be fired up for the Super Bowl rematch, and I think we're going to get a lot of offense. Jalen Hurts so far this year has averaged 260 yards per game through the air, and in 2 career games versus the Chiefs, he's averaging a staggering 345 passing yards. So do I think he's going to get 300 plus passing yards today? I'm not 100% sure, but I do like the fact that we get the insurance on one quarterback outperform the other, and they can each help each other a little bit. Even though they're enemies today, in this bet, we want them on the same side. On the other side, Patrick Mahomes, he's having another amazing year for the Chiefs, averaging 271 yards per game, and in 2 games versus Philly in his career, he's only averaging 230 passing yards. This is kind of a low compared to some of the other opponents that you won't expect. So because of this, if you combine what they're averaging on their just yards per game, we easily get over this 518.5 total. But then when you also look at some of the situations around this game, not only is it a Super Bowl rematch, but also due to the injuries and the situation, I like this bet even more. The Eagles are coming off a bye week, so they've had an extra week not only to prepare for this Chiefs team and study them, but guess what? Jalen Hurts has been a little bit banged up. So he's been hurt a little bit this year. That's been obvious. His knee's been bothering him. So as a result, he hasn't been running as much, and I think that's why the offense hasn't really been clicking as much. We did lose our offensive coordinator as well, but with Jalen Hurts getting a whole extra week to rehab and really rest that knee, I do think that preparation and that time is going to pay dividends against this Chiefs defense today. Now, on the other side, I think the Chiefs are just going to pick apart this Eagles defense. Now, I'm a big Eagles fan. You guys know that, but this is the thing. Our secondary is god-awful. We're injured. We're banged up. We've lost a lot of guys in the offseason. We've had some guys miss time. So because of that, defense have absolutely been tearing us apart, especially through the air. We're ranked in the bottom 5 in passing yards allowed per game, giving up over 250 yards. So now we've got Patrick Mahomes coming into town, and if you watch the Eagles even more, if I dissect the game film for you, which I won't do in this video, but the majority of our passes that we give up are through the middle or in the second part of the second layer of the defense. You know where Patrick Mahomes likes to throw the ball? Through the middle to Travis Kelce, or to his slanting receivers, or to the second layer of the defense. After you take away that first layer, like the check down and the 2-3 yards in front of you, that second layer, that 8, 9, 10 yard passes, that's where Patrick Mahomes feasts. That's where the Eagles have the biggest problem on defense this year. So I think the Chiefs are going to be able to exploit that. And we've seen other offenses be able to exploit this Eagles defense. Dak threw for like 380 yards. Sam Howell threw for like 370. And that was just in the past 2 weeks. If you look at the game logs of the Eagles defenses and the quarterbacks they face, they've had several guys fly over this total of 250 plus yards. All we need is each guy here to get about 260 or so for us to go over this total, but I like the insurance that we get for one guy helping out another, as I do think one of these quarterbacks go off, or both of them do go off. So let's go with the combined passing yards over 518.5 as our first best bet of the day. Now for our second best bet of the day, I'm going to go over to the hardwood, to the college basketball slate. We've got Fort Myers tip-off invitational with the Virginia Cavaliers taking on the Wisconsin Badgers. Virginia is favored by 4 points on a neutral court, and truthfully, I couldn't disagree more. And you know why I say that? Not because Virginia is favored, but only 4 points? Come on now. So because of that, I'm going to go with Virginia minus 3.5, minus 110 as my second best bet of the day. You can never write off Tony Bennett teams. They may not have all the McDonald All-American names or the big name players that you see like on social media, but one thing is for sure about this Virginia Cavaliers team, year after year, they're going to play that patented pack line defense, and they're going to be efficient on offense. They're 4-0 to start this season, and so far they're 37th in offensive efficiency and 10th in defensive efficiency. That's crazy. I mean, yeah, it's a limited sample size, but guess what? This team is picking up right where other Tony Bennett teams have left off. Now, they played a pretty easy schedule to start this point in the year, but their biggest test came against a Florida team, which was also on a neutral court, and they beat them by 3 points. So I love to see that they've at least faced some tough opponents. Now, on the other hand, Wisconsin, they find themselves coming into this matchup 2-2. They beat the teams they were supposed to beat. They beat Arkansas State and Robert Morris, but they also lost to 2 good teams, Tennessee and Providence. So they're 2-2, but my biggest point of concern is not the fact that they lost to 2 very good programs in Providence and Tennessee, but they lost by double digits to both of those teams, and they're very strong defensively, just like Virginia is. Providence has a really good defense, and so does Tennessee. And guess what Virginia now does? Comes into this matchup with another strong defense that this Wisconsin team is going to have to figure out how to be able to score against them. And truthfully, my analysis is simple. I just don't think Wisconsin has enough shot makers. They don't have enough playmakers who's going to be able to score enough points to keep up with this one. Now, the line is 3.5. That is my key number. If it bumps up to 4 or 4.5, I would wait for you to try to grab it live. I would even try to grab this number a little bit cheaper live, just in case it's a little bit close game at the beginning. And the reason why I say that is because 3.5 is my key number in college basketball, because you get 2 sets of free throws at the end of the game. 2 fouls, 2 sets of free throws that can bump you over this total. That's the reason why that's my key number, right? But when you look at the similar opponents that both of these teams have played under their belt, guess what? They also play a very slow-paced game. Wisconsin does. And that fits right into Virginia's hands because they like to play slow. If you watch any Tony Bennett games, their totals are always like 130, 120, and sometimes even lower than that because of how slow they play on defense. So now Wisconsin likes to play slow, and you're now going to fit into the fact that Virginia wants you to play slow in the half court, and you have to try to score on them on that pack line defense in the half court set. I'm not a big fan of that, and this Wisconsin team has not showed us that they can score a ton of points in order to get this thing done. Virginia has 2 elite NBA prospects on their team in Ryan Dunn and Reese Beekman, and Beekman, he can match up with Wisconsin's leading scorer, AJ Stores, and for me, if they take him out this game, Wisconsin struggles mightily. I don't know where they're going to get their points from, but I'm just going to go with the better defense and the more efficient offense in this one on a neutral court, so it shouldn't get any home court advantage either way. Virginia, they have the better coaching, the better experience. They're 3-1 against the spread to start the year. Meanwhile, Wisconsin is 1-3 to start the year against the spread, so I expect that trend to continue today. Let's just go with Virginia Cavaliers minus 3.5 as our second best bet of the day. Now for our third and final best bet of the day, we're going to wrap up this slate with another college basketball tournament matchup, and we're going to head out west, way out west. I'm talking to the Maui Invitational in Hawaii, and listen, this leg is going to be a ladder challenge leg. Now, if you tapped into my Twitter page yesterday, I gave out a ladder leg. It missed. I admit it. We lost on day 4 on the Twitter, but I did say I want to do the ladder challenge specifically on this channel and also pitching it on Surgical Stream with the Book It crew. So because it's only on weekdays, I'm technically not counting yesterday's loss. Now, did I technically lose? Yes. If you want to hold me honesty, W transparency, there's your transparency for you. But because we hit on Friday, I was always expecting to be able to hit again today or keep the ladder going today on Monday. I threw it out there on Twitter yesterday because some people DM me, asked me for a ladder leg, but I really wanted to just keep it going so we could do it specifically on the free 3 and then repitching it as as well on Surgical Stream with the Book It team over there. So this is day 4 of the ladder challenge, and we're going to go with 4 blue blood programs that should all make the tournament that are facing off early in the season, but I'm taking 2 of those teams I expect to make the Final Four and my 2 early contenders to actually win the national championship, and I'm going Purdue on the money line, and we're parlaying that with Marquette on the money line, plus 120 odds right there to get us over the hump, okay? So Purdue takes on Gonzaga. We've seen what this Purdue team can do already this year as they return just about everyone from that team that got upset last year in the first round, including All-American, the Giant himself, Zach Edey, and they're going to make a push to the national championship. Depending on what the bracket looks like and how this team pans out over the season, keep in mind, this team might win it all. That Virginia Cavaliers team that lost in the first round to the first team ever to that UMBC, guess what? They won the national championship the year after. I think that this Purdue team can do something very similar this year, and they had the blueprint already, but I like the fact that this Purdue team has a lot of returning players, while meanwhile on Gonzaga, on the other hand, they don't have a lot of talent returning, and there's a lot of question marks around this team. Timmy is gone. Julian Stother is gone. Lassia Bolton is gone. Malachi Smith are gone. So 4 of their best players from that 2022-2023 season are all gone, and yes, they did add some transfers, and they did add some 4 or 5-star recruits, but I just don't know if it's enough to get against this deep Purdue team. Both of these teams like to play fast, and their offenses are some of the best at the college level. Purdue is number 1 in offensive efficiency, while Gonzaga is number 3. So while I think there's going to be a ton of scoring, a lot of offense in this game, the difference in this matchup is going to come down to the defense. Purdue is number 11th in defensive efficiency, while Gonzaga is 31. So for me, Purdue just has a little bit too much size and shooting, and I think they can win this matchup, especially on the defensive side, and they're going to cover this number, the 5.5, but I'm just going to go with the money line in this one, keep it simple and plain, more experience, better team. Gonzaga has not played anybody tough as of yet. This is kind of their first real test, so let me go with Purdue on the money line as our first leg. Now for our second leg of the day, we're going to go with Marquette on the money line, and they're taking on UCLA, and for very similar reasons why I like the Boilermakers is why I like Marquette here, okay? Marquette just has too much experience, and that's just too valuable at the beginning of the season. Now by tournament time, experience matters, but not as much as it comes down to who's blended, who's meshed, what teams are hot, which ones are cold. But at the beginning of the season, experience matters because you guys are used to playing with each other. You know the rotations. You guys know what's going on. Tyler Kolek, Oso Ighodaro, I think I'm saying his name correctly, and Cam Jones, right? Those 3 guys for Marquette are one of the most lethal trios in all of college basketball, and there's no shortage of offense with this group. They can hit you different ways. Kolek is dishing and diming it. They shoot the 3 at a high rate. Their one caveat is they don't really shoot free throws that well, but they do grab some boards. I like the things that we've seen from this Marquette team to start off the year, and there's a reason why they're top 20 in both offensive and defensive efficiency. Meanwhile, UCLA they're counting on some new faces this year. They've lost 4 of their 5 key starters from last season, and right now they're 337th in returning continuity and experience from last season. That is a big difference in this game, and I also think the biggest other factor is going to be pace of play. Marquette likes to play fast. UCLA likes to play real slow. UCLA's 330th in adjusted tempo, and they're ranked 261 in average possession length. Marquette is 6th in average possession length. So for me, I think the difference is Marquette is going to try to push UCLA in terms of running the ball, in terms of getting it out in transition. Can UCLA score enough points? We don't know. They played 3 games against all inferior opponents this year, and they have not even cracked 80 points one time. So because of that, I think Marquette is the first one to score 75, 80 points to win this game. Marquette is also coming off that big win against Illinois on the road again in Champaign. This might be a letdown spot, as some handicappers like to say. I don't know if they cover the number. It's at 5.5 as well, but I think Marquette gets the win here against Maui Invitational. This is a big tournament. These teams take this tournament seriously, these blue blood programs. So I like Marquette to get the win today. I like Purdue to get the win today. Parlay those together, plus 120 as our 4th leg on the DYF Bets ladder challenge that we're doing here specifically on the channel. Those are my 3 best bets of the day, my friends. Patrick Mahomes and Jalen Hurts to combine for over 518.5 passing yards. Virginia minus 3.5 on the spread. And then we're going to go with the 2 teams steam of Purdue and Marquette on the money line to wrap everything up. And that's it for me today, my friends. 3 best bets, 3 winners that are headed your way on this Monday slate. And as always, if you want more picks and plays that we're dropping throughout the day, as we got tournaments going on all day, especially in college basketball, click that link in the bio, join our free Discord group, so this way you can be a part of the family and continue to cash in on those winners. All right, guys, let's get to that money. Drop your comments with your best bets below, so this way I can tell you, and let's continue to get to that cheddar. I'll see y'all tomorrow, and hopefully we'll be celebrating a sweep because we're long overdue. Let's get it. Fly, Eagles, fly, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Later, gang.